Mark, can you play? Push play. Here we are, 60 days following our great summit held in Las Vegas. And look what you've done. You have chartered 31 clubs already. Congratulations. We have no idea when that ever happened in the last ever. And you've also brought in 5,992 members. Awesome. Now we've dropped 5,039, but we haven't had a net gain like this in forever. We don't know when the last time we've had this net gain. So we've got the momentum going, and we're here to ensure that we keep it going. So this is our 60-day follow-up. We are leading in progress.
Pat, you're muted. Pat, you're muted.
Thank you. Mark, next slide, please. Today, we're going to lead with member satisfaction and retention. It's important not only for our current clubs, but it's also important for us to immediately help those new officers and new clubs know it's so important to take care of members, because every member who gets to have their passion met, their voice heard, will stay. And when we're all having fun together serving, that's another indication that we're all going to stay together. So we are on this important milestone on our Mission 1.5 journey, the 60-day check-in, dedicated to our satisfaction in our membership. We know that when our members feel valued, supported, and inspired, they stay, and they bring others along. Today, you're going to hear from inspiring leaders. They're going to engage in, you're going to engage in real-world discussions and leave with actionable tools to make a difference in your communities. Here's how our roadmap for today. We'll start with why member satisfaction is more urgent than ever. You are putting so much time and effort into starting clubs. Let's keep them. Let's set them up for fun, meaningful service. It may not look like my club or your club, but isn't that what makes our organization great? They get to be their own club. We will hear from our keynote speaker, past District Governor Jay Norby. He brings a deep experience in retention strategies. And then we'll move into interactive breakout rooms. Your chance to share, listen, and exchange real strategies that are working. Finally, we are going to hear from our past international president, Brian Sheehan. He's going to close us out with a powerful message to help us go forward, to lead with purpose. This is an engaging event, so make sure to use your voice, because that's the one that matters. Our objectives today are ambitious, but they're clear. We want to elevate every member's satisfaction across every club. That means finding solutions to burnout, disengagement, and the slow fade that leads to members leaving. We'll tap into peer strategies and insights from international leadership. We'll also explore how to create inclusive, vibrant club experiences that make every member feel they belong. And finally, we'll strengthen the bonds between area leaders, the GAT, and our district teams, because retention is a team sport. So let's start out with the poll. Here's your question. What's one word to describe the current mood in your club or your neighboring club or the clubs in your districts? Are they energized, optimistic, motivated, content, or concerned? How confident are you in your club's ability to retain members? And what do you think is the biggest factor in member satisfaction? Now be honest. We need you to be, everybody needs to be honest. Well, we have a broad gamut right now. Some are content, some are energized, some are concerned. Some are optimistic and motivated.
I think we've leveled off, Pat, at about 82%.
Oh, we got a couple more coming in here. Okay, we can sure end the poll and let's see what we got.
Well, it's pretty interesting when we ask you to pick one word to describe the current mood in your club, and that is content. Now, content can be seen in a couple of ways. What do you think about content, Pat?
Well, it makes me think that we're not looking for new things to do. That we're real happy to come to our events with our same friends. And so we may not be engaging other people. It doesn't mean that we're unhappy. It just means that it's comfortable. To me.
25% are feeling motivated. And it's interesting that 19% are both concerned and optimistic. Let's see how confident you are in your club's ability to retain members. This is interesting. 46% said you're confident. We're doing well, but can improve. 23% said retention steady, but unpredictable. And then 16% is tied for being very confident and slightly concerned. Interesting. No one was not confident.
Yes, that's really interesting.
So that shows pretty good thought there. And then what do you think the biggest factor in member satisfaction is? Meaningful service opportunities at a whopping 54%. And this is followed by strong relations and camaraderie.
Isn't it interesting that we don't really need recognition?
That is interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Well, those are really great things for us to build on our understanding. Thank you so much for that. Let's take that down. And at this time, I'd like to introduce to you our keynote speaker. This young man, Jay Nordby, comes from Minnesota. He's no stranger to any of us or to the challenges and victories of keeping members engaged. He's worked across multiple districts, building retention strategies that are practical and effective. Today, he'll share insights from Area 1C, real-life examples. Area 1C is from Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, North and South Dakota. He's going to share real-life examples and tools you can adapt for your club. As you listen, think about how you can apply at least one of his ideas within the next 30 days. Jay, take it away.
I'll have to share again. Or Mark, can you share it?
You've got
Can
it,
you see
Jay.
me? Awesome, we're ready to go. So tonight we're going to talk about member engagement and retention. Our strength is in our members. Engaged members stay active, they serve with passion, and they invite others to join. So what I've done here is created somewhat of a checklist so you can build a strong, vibrant club. Involve all of your members in goal setting and decision making. I have found over the years that the clubs that seem to be in the biggest trouble and have the lack of members staying engaged are the ones that have, as I will say, the seasoned members. They've been there more than 10 or 15 years, seem to think that it's their club and they have to make all the decisions. And that you new members, you should be seen but not heard. Provide meaningful service opportunities. We saw that on the survey just a minute ago that, people that have meaningful service opportunities, they feel that their club is going in the right direction. Now, I will tell you, I did not click the top one because if I would have done this in April or May, oh yeah, we would have been on top of that list. But now here we are in September. We've gone through 9 service projects since then. And quite frankly, our club is a little tired and we're looking forward to a little R&R and taking it a little bit easier. We've only got 2 major service projects in the next month. Make sure you're fostering diverse and inclusive participation. I mean, too often we forget to ask our members, what is your passion? What are you really passionate about? What would you like to see us do? Too often in our club, we do a survey. We ask everybody in our club, are the present service projects and fundraisers we're doing, are they relevant and do you want to do them? If they say no, then we change it to something else. But we make sure that everybody has a voice and an opportunity. Leadership development and mentoring. And we'll talk about that a little bit in a couple minutes here, but make sure that everybody has that opportunity. I had to sit down with a club because they had their top 5 or 6 Lions all, I don't want to say they quit, but they moved. They retired. They went south for the winter and they weren't coming back to northern sunny Minnesota. So they're looking for a new president. And this young man said, I'll do it. Well, the seasoned members are going, yeah, but he's only been a Lion for 2 years. And they're going, you think he can do it? And I said, what's his background? The fact that he owned a business, he had over 50 employees, his business did over $10 million a year in sales. I think he's got the management skills. It's easier to teach somebody about Lions than it is to teach them about being a manager. So by helping and having a mentor to teach him about Lions, that club now has grown exponentially. Keeping meetings effective, purposeful, and enjoyable. We at our club, we make sure that, yes, we get through our business. Yes, we make sure everything that has to be done is done. But our tail twister, make sure that we have fun at the end of the meeting. Now, I will tell you that if anybody has never ever want to see me do a hula hoop, you don't want to see that happen. That is not a pretty sight. But every one of us had to put on a hula hoop and try to do it. So having fun, having something at the end of the meeting that grows and gets your group to stay together. Recognize and celebrate contributions. Too often we think that we have to hand out awards. No, a simple thank you. Something that says, hey, everybody that did this project last weekend, thank you for an awesome job. That's what they're looking for. They don't necessarily have to get a medal. They don't have to get a trophy or a certificate. But as long as you recognize and celebrate everybody's contributions, it builds a team effort. And encourage interpersonal connections. You know, too often we go to Lions meetings and all they do is they go to the meeting, they get done, they go home. Does your club or does your zone do things as a group outside of the meeting framework? Have a social get together. Again, I'm going to refer to my club. We go 4 times a year. We have a little bar that's about 4 miles out of town. We have a card night. Guess what? We did that for a year, and the bar owner was so appreciative that he and his co-owner of the business, they both joined our club. They appreciate the fact that we came out there, brought our members, but we brought others. And we play cards, and we play silly games, and we do something that's simple and easy. Now, everybody thinks that once we get them engaged, we're going to retain them. Not always. You know, new member orientation. I have found that clubs that do orientation have a lot less issue with retaining their members. So pair them with mentors, and that doesn't always mean the person that brought them into the club. You might have a gung-ho brand new member that signs up 2 of their friends. But now instead of having 1 new member that doesn't know much about Lions, you got 3, and you got 1 trying to teach the other 2. Nope. Find a mentor that will help them grow in Lionism. Clear communication. You know, no matter what, you have to have communication about club goals, their projects, the impact they're trying to do. You know, make sure that everybody understands and is given the ability and the time to ask questions. Have a positive club culture. You know, the old saying is that you praise in public and you correct in private. But make sure that when you have issues, that you're still maintaining that positive club culture. No matter what happens, remember, the glass is always half full. Ensure the club offers a variety of service and social activities to keep their members engaged. As I said earlier, we go out, we do things outside of our club. We have picnics, we have different winter activities that we do. We live in the northern part of Minnesota, so it's a long trip to go down to the Twin Cities to watch a Twins game, but we can go right over 60 miles to the west, go to Fargo-Moorhead and watch the Red Hawks. So once a year, we schedule a trip that as many members that can make it, we go over and watch baseball. We go over there and watch during the wintertime a hockey game. I don't know why we get more people wanting to watch hockey than we do baseball, but that's just maybe it's the way we are in our community. You know, use tools like the CQI to assess and improve club effectiveness. We tried this 3 years ago, and everybody looked at that and went, what? No, we're not doing that. So we kind of just let it slide a little bit. We came back the next year. All we did is handed out a simple questionnaire with basically the same thing that the CQI said. We just asked it in a questionnaire form and said, you know, what would you like to see? What don't you like? What projects would you like to see us do? What projects do you think have reached the end of their term and we want to eliminate them? Wow. I mean, we got volumes of answers back and it helped improve our club. You know, create a culture of belonging. I mean, with all of the different things and the different people that come into a club. Now, we're not the world's largest club. We got 63 members in our club. And I can guarantee you, not all 63 like each other. But one thing that we have taught each other and that we believe in is you have to respect each other. Respect those opinions. If you disagree with it, that's fine. You can stand up and say, I don't know about this or that, but you make sure you're doing it in a good, positive outlook so that everybody has a voice. And that way you can get people to feel like they belong in that club. You know, connect members to the larger global missions of Lions, Mission 1.5, LCIF, global causes, pride, purpose. That's easier said than done. Many of our members, and I'm sure it's not only in my club, but every club that I've talked to, you have 50, 60, 70% of the membership. All they want to do is support their community. They don't look at the lens of what we do worldwide. Yeah, they'll listen. Oh, yes, they'll support Mission 1.5. If you say, hey, if you get a new member in this year, I'm going to give you this or give you that, or LCIF. You know, we do, our club does support LCIF. Half the members don't know why we're doing it, other than the fact that we're helping somebody somewhere with a flood or a fire or famine. We touch them at the heart. We don't go after all the great and mighty things. We tug the heartstring to get our donations. And I'll tell you again, every line matters. When members are engaged, they're empowered and appreciated. They support us. They help to grow the future of Lionism. Now, that's it for that, but I've got a little thing here I'm going to show you. Seasoned Lions live Lionism naturally. New members need intentional guidance to learn. And without orientation, mentoring, and encouragement, they feel lost or engaged. Too often we hear this, seasoned member, everyone knows the story of Lions, Melvin Jones, Helen Keller, and We Serve. In reality, most new members may not know the history of why Lions are there. All they know that it's a service club. We all understand the global causes, vision, hunger, diabetes. Many new members don't know what the global causes are, except for the one or two that they are directly affected for, or they have a passion for. LCI and LCIF are the same thing. Most people don't realize that LCIF is our foundation that has the grants and the global projects. I had this is always, I like this one because we had a new member said, meetings always follow a structure. Yeah, well, we have traditions, we have roles, we have certain protocols we like to follow. You know, it's just the way we do it because that makes our meetings flow. Okay. Leadership opportunities are everywhere. Most of our Lions don't realize that there's ALLI, ELLI, FDI, or leadership roles beyond the club level. So we need to instruct them and teach them. Everyone knows how to get involved at the district or international level. No. I will tell you that we had a district governor not too long ago that 6 years ago, he went to his very first zone meeting. He'd been a Lion for about 12 years. And the district governor was there giving a presentation on the district and the multiple. And that was the first time since he became a Lion that he knew there was anything outside of our district. And then when he found out we had a multiple, that was wow. And then to find out we're an international organization, somewhere along the line, somebody dropped the ball. But we need to make sure that everybody understands we are a global organization. You know, and a lot of times, as long as you can take something on your local level and tie it into a global cause, that's where they're going to learn, that's where they get excited, and they're going to want to do more. And of course, friendship and fellowship just happen. Most new members feel like an outsider, except that they cling to their mentor or the person who brought them in. If we don't get them out, if we don't introduce them to everybody in the club, if we don't have them get some kind of personal connection with everybody, they're going to leave us. And then, of course, recognition is given. Well, yeah, but, you know, too often if we look at recognition on the district level, they always think that those that are important on the district level are the only ones getting awards. We need to make sure on the club level, even if it's a handshake, a pat on the back, or a simple thank you, that they understand that they are appreciated. So, key for clubs, orientation plus mentorship equals retention. Never assume, and we all know what assume means. Teach, explain, and include. What is second nature to a seasoned Lion is something that is new and exciting knowledge for a new Lion. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Pat. And I hope you guys got something out of this. Anybody that needs a copy of it, let me know. I will send it to you. Thank you. Oh, I forgot the last screen. A seasoned line should provide a foundation, knowledge, a path, mentorship, opportunities, project, a family, connection, and encouragement, support. This will ensure the new line not only stays, but thrives and one day becomes a mentor for somebody else. That's all, folks.
You, Jay. You gave us a lot of things to think about. And I think our next poll is going to bring us there. Can we
If
put up the
Jay
next
can
poll?
stop sharing,
Oh,
we can get back to.
there we go.
There we go.
Thank you. So let's go to our next poll. Let's look at the questions. What tools do you currently use to track member engagement? What is the number one reason members leave? And how do you celebrate or reconnect with current members? Okay, let's start the poll. Looks like we're all over the board here. No, it's really important for us to think about these questions all the time, periodically in our clubs, right? How are we staying connected?
In our club, what we do is we do a couple of things. Actually, we use the portal, but we do a hands-on approach of if you miss 2 meetings, you're getting a phone call from one of us. We are constantly talking to all of our members to see what's going on. If something has changed in their lifestyle, we just keep talking. We keep engaging. We keep, I will tell you that we have 6 or 8 snowbirds that go south every winter. And even during the wintertime, we'll call and we'll give them a bad time because it's so bloody hot down there and they're missing that nice 20 below weather up here in Minnesota. But it's still a way for us to stay engaged with every member.
I think we can end the poll now. What do you think?
Yeah, let's go ahead. We want to get to our breakout rooms. So what have we got?
What tools do you use to track engagement? Attendance records and sign-in sheets. That's interesting. That's 38%. We currently don't have a formal tracking system.
Can
That's
you adjust? Can you adjust the screen?
How's that?
Well, question
You can
Question
use-
one is-
you can use the scroll bar on the side of the poll results.
Okay. Do you want to see question 1?
So Don, we have equal number of attendance records and sign-in sheets as we do with we don't have a formal system, so that's an opportunity to create some kind of system to keep track of our members.
What's the number one reason members leave?
Lack of time. No, I feel like the lack of time is oftentimes it's just kind of an excuse. Wouldn't you agree? If it was meaningful, they would make the time. They felt value.
Interesting enough, relocation or life changes
Yep.
were the most common reason.
That's true.
And then how do you celebrate or reconnect with current members? We
Yes.
currently don't have a structured approach.
Well, we can change that, can't we? I like the personal check-in calls. To me, that really is what we do as family. All right. We're going to stop sharing this. And I think we have a treat for you.
What if there was a world without lions? A world where the signs that guide disappear, where our service goes undone, and our legacy vanishes. A world without lions is a world without hope, where the impact we make fades away. When our presence in communities is no longer seen, our mark on the world is gone. Where clubs once were thriving, many are dying. And now, we are at a crossroads. You're the one behind the wheel. The legacy of Lions is built on the impact we make today, and we can't stop now. The road ahead is a guarantee. We need more hands and more voices to map the future we want to see, to create a brighter horizon. Now is your time to act, to chart our course, to ignite change. Lions are the heartbeat of every community. When we grow, so does our impact. When we act, we create a legacy that lasts. The only person who can drive us forward is you. It takes you. It takes all of us. Be the lion the world needs. It's your legacy. It's your time.
So that'll lead us into our breakout rooms, and doesn't that give us something to think about as we go into discussion? We're going to have mixed groups of Lions from across Constitutional Area 1, and you're just going to go in a room automatically, and we have facilitators for every breakout room. So let's send everyone, we're going to have 30 minutes for your breakout sessions, and we will have you back in 30 minutes. Have a great talk. All right, let's move on to the next. Got you back. How is your rooms? Let's say share in the chat. Too short. Awesome. Member satisfaction survey is something that we'd like to see. Put in the chat box what you learned while we hear from our past president from Bird Island, Minnesota.
Where's Bird Island?
There we go.
Just Brian Sheehan. Let's go, Brian.
Thank you, Pat. What an awesome group we had as well. I want to thank everybody and to see everybody here. It's so great to see everybody again.
You're muted, Brian. You're muted.
You probably will like me a lot better when I'm muted. I'm not loud.
Oh, it's more fun to listen to you.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad you're not sick of it yet. I want to tell you guys, first of all, I want to tell you good evening to everybody. And all I can say so far for this year is wow. What a great start we have. What an awesome start. This was certifiably awesome. The start we've had in just the first 2 months of this year. I am so excited. Are you guys excited? If you're excited, put it in the chat box. I want to hear if you are excited. Put in the chat box that you are excited about membership growth in your district or in your club this year. And throw a couple of yip yos in there too. A little yip yo doesn't hurt anybody. That tells me that you're excited and you're engaged in what we want to do. You know, when we can come together at the summit, those that were there, we said something very clearly. We said we cannot keep doing the same things decade after decade after decade and expect our membership story to change. If we keep doing the same thing all the time, we're going to keep getting the same results. Now, it's very, very clear that you all listen to that message, and everybody is taking action and you're taking it seriously. I told you at that seminar, I told you at the summit that you can smell it, you can feel it. And I felt this coming on for the last couple of years. And that's so great to be able to do that. If we want different results, we have to be bold enough to change the way that we grow. And just in that breakout session we had, I'm listening to the different ideas, and everybody's talking about growth. Everybody's talking about satisfaction. And that all takes team. It takes a service team. It takes leadership team. It takes membership. It takes extension, because we all hinge on each other. We all hinge on each other of how do we keep our members satisfied. We tried very hard last year to prepare everybody for this success. And we have so many things going on. We got so many irons in the fire, but giving the tools and hearing about testimonials, hearing about the positive things that are happening in all of the districts and Lions, you've done it. We've taken steps to make that change real. Things are, I can feel it, and I can't put my finger on it because there's so many different things, but we can see that this change is real. And I truly hope that you are the one that's impacting or helping the change in your individual club, or you're doing it for your zone, or you're doing it for your district. Now let's remind ourselves of what really drives our growth. It's not just one thing. It's many things working together. And that in turn requires many hands, many teams starting in the club. We can't do this on our own. You shouldn't have one person on extension. You shouldn't have one person on membership. It takes team, and you have to put people in a position to succeed. And that happens first by keeping our members satisfied. What great discussions we've had here. When Lions feel valued, when they feel supported, when they feel energized, they're going to stay and they're going to lead. They lead to serve, and they serve to lead. That's what we do. What a great motto this year. Service is what this organization is built around, and that's why people join. Whenever anybody joins, it's because we serve. So let's keep them satisfied. A happy member will not leave. And second, in order to get membership growth, is rejuvenating our clubs. Again, I heard it in our breakout session. Every time we bring in fresh energy, we give our clubs a chance to do more service, to put more hands and hearts into action, to get more leaders and more creative ideas. But what came out in our breakout section is we don't always listen to our members. We don't listen to our members one and all. We have to listen to all of them and empower them and give them that chance to be able to have that voice. The third thing, in order to have successful membership growth and growth initiative, we've got to start new clubs. And I'm hearing so much about all the clubs, the branch clubs, the things that are starting up just in our group alone of 6 people. Every new club gives the community the opportunity to serve. And we all know the difference that Lions make, not just in one community, but all around the world. So put in the chat box if you're considering, if you're thinking of your district is going to be starting up a club. I want to hear it in the chat box. So how have we done? So let's look at these numbers over the first couple of months. For the first 60 days, we ended these first 2 months at a plus 909 members. I don't know about you, but way back in my Merle day, which is saying how old I am, I have never been this excited. I have never seen a start like this. You've listened and we're changing. As long as I've been a Lion, it's been this is a 15,000% increase over last year. And sure, it's easy to get a big percentage jump when last year we were at a -6 this time of year. But the reality is this: we're not in the negative anymore. We're moving forward together. In fact, 2 days into September, so far we've added 68 new members with a net. Adding members and subtracting members, we're plus 68, putting us at a 977. That's unbelievable. We've added 20 more clubs than the year before, the first 2 months. 31 new clubs this year. That's incredible. And on top of that, we've added 8% more new members. Pat had it at the very front here compared to last year. And even better is we've dropped 3% fewer members. We have to keep making those numbers. Those are two big numbers. Together, we're coming in, more are coming in, and fewer are going out. That's the key to real, everlasting growth. Now let's be honest. The hard part isn't just a great start. I'm awesome. I'm excited about it. But the hard part is keeping this momentum going for the next 10 months. I want this to be the first time in 4 decades that we're going to be positive. But I know, we all know we can do this. And this has been our best opportunity ever in a very long time. Why? Because the tides have changed. The energy is different. The momentum is with us. It's not just about it's about we. This isn't going to be just another year. Give me another yip-yo in the chat if you're excited about this. This is the year where we show that Lions can grow, we can serve, we can thrive like never before, and especially and primarily in Constitutional Area 1. It's about time we showed the world. Before this year began, we threw out an extremely bold challenge. 100 clubs in 100 days. Now look, 100 days is not the important component. It does not mean much to us. We don't care if it's 100 days or 130 days or 150, whatever it is in reality. What means most to us was to have a great start, as we are not known for our starts and membership in CA1. We knew it was a monumental and a far-reaching task, maybe even unrealistic. But you know what? That challenge created and lit a fire. It created momentum. It created communication, and that fire, that momentum, and that communication is growing. And are you on this boat? You do not want to miss on being a part of this cruise. This is something that everybody can get wrapped up in. We've done things that we've never done before, so let's keep them going. We had pulled together Lions who had started a club in the last 5 years. We got them all together and we said, let's go for it. What do we got to lose? Let's do something different. Whether or not we hit the exact number doesn't matter, as much as what's happening right now in your club, in your district, in your multiple. Look at what we've already done in the past 60 days. 2 months. 31 clubs have been started up this year. That is unbelievable. That's awesome, and that's a fact, Jack. 21 more clubs are still pending for approval, over and above the 31. 5 of them already have 20 or more members. There's 2 of them who have already submitted with more than 20 members, just waiting for the approval and the paperwork to get done. If we close all of those this month, that puts us at about 55. And we're not stopping there. Right now, we have Lions are working on at least 15 different specialty clubs, and they're from helping in other constitutional areas in CA1. We're working on Nepalese clubs, Filipino clubs, Spanish clubs, Chinese clubs, and others. With that help from the outside, that would bring us to over 70 clubs. And if we could add another 20 into the on-deck circle in the pending stats, because we're always at about 18 to 25 that are always pending, we're staring down 90 clubs. And we can get them. We can get them this first half of the year. And at that point, we're right back to our original goal. Let's get those 100 clubs. And then we move on towards 200 clubs, something we've only done 4 times in the last 40 years. Something we all thought was nearly impossible is now absolutely achievable if we keep the momentum going. So how are we going to do it? You all just talked in your groups, in your breakout groups, how we're going to do it. We need every district to help pressing forward, build those teams, work together to plant new clubs. That's the formula. That's the magic. We're looking for that magic pill. We have it. We have it in ourselves. And here's what excites me the most. We're already seeing it. We've seen districts embrace this challenge with enthusiasm and creativity. Districts who haven't started up clubs in decades are starting up 2, 3. Like I said, don't miss this cruise. This is going to be an awesome cruise. The fire is spreading. The excitement is contagious. You can feel it. You can see it. Let's keep catching it. Let's keep spreading it. And let's keep proving that when Lions dream big, we throw down a challenge, we lock our arms together, and we can do what we think is unthinkable. This is our year. This is your year. This is our moment. This is your moment. Let's keep that roaring moving forward. So here's my challenge to you. This is my challenge to you. Keep pushing, keep believing, and keep telling our stories. We got to talk about our successes. We got to talk about what we've struggled with. We're in this together. We need this momentum to continue for the next 10 months. And then even bigger for the next year, when we get International President Mark, I am so excited at the for every new member we bring in, every club that we support, every community we ignite with Lionism, that's another victory for service. That's another victory for hope and for changing lives. You know it. You get it. You know that aha moment, not when you became a member, but when you saw what we do. So again, my challenge to you, we talked about it in our group. What's the one thing that you are going to do in the next 30 days to make a difference in the growth of your club or your zone or your district? Make it happen. We have to take action. We need an action item. What are you going to do? I heard great things in our group. I don't know about your group. Now, the second thing I'm asking you to do, if your club is going to drop a member, why can you first not find a replacement for that drop member and have them bring a friend? We got to stop dropping more than we're adding. And if we could replace them and why can't we do that? Why can't that be a tradition for our clubs? If our secretary says, yep, we're going to drop 3 members this month, why can't we replace them with 3 more? Or somebody passed away, let's replace them with 4 and let's have them bring a friend. So with that, let's not just celebrate a great start. That's easy. Let's build on it. That's the excitement. That's what gets me fired up. Let's make this year that future Lions in Constitutional Area 1 look back on and say, that was our turning point. That big start is what turned us around. That's what turned this huge ship that has been going in the wrong directions for a decade. That was when Lions in the United States and its affiliates stood up and we said, we are ready to grow again. We've had enough. I've had enough. We're ready to grow. And we are doing it. We're doing it together. So let's keep this fire burning any way that we can, you guys. Let's make the next 10 months even better than the first 2. We know we're going to have our drops in December. We got to get to plus 3,500. We know we're going to get our drops in June. But let's beat it to the punch. Let's get more than we need. Let's do that because Lions, the best is yet to come. Give me a yip-yo if you agree with me in the chat box. Give me a yip-yo if you are excited to see positive membership in your club, your district, your multiple, in CA1. You do that because you are awesome. And that's the fact, Jacks. I just want to say make a great day, and then just thank you to everybody for coming on this session, showing that you care about the things that we care about. Yippee-o to y'all.
Wow, thank you so much, Brian, for your inspirational words. And gosh, you're right. We got her going now. We can't stop. Don't stop now. Never give up. We're going to keep on going.
Don't
And
stop.
that's-
Don't give up.
Can't give up. Can't give up. We've got it going now. We have one more poll before we leave tonight. And here's your call to action. What will we implement? What will you implement? What will I implement in the next 30 days? And I want our future breakout sessions to focus on, give us what you'd like. And how would you rate today's session? So let's put the poll up for our attendees and see what we have. We need your input. Going to get more members involved in our service projects. That's awesome. Absolutely. Absolutely. A new engagement strategy for members. That's awesome. We are at 85%. Oh, 90. Well, Mark, let's end the poll here and let's see how we're doing. So we're going to make, isn't it interesting that we're going to make more frequent personal outreach to members? I think that's perfect.
Can you scroll that so we can see question 1?
This is question 1.
You have to scroll it yourself on your own screen.
Oops.
Okay. Thank you.
Mark, would you put it back up, please? Accidentally. Here we go. So we plan to involve members in more service projects and more frequent personal outreach. Those were the top 2 in our call to action. We are going to implement membership growth. We want to, for future breakouts, membership growth strategies. So the nuts and bolts of how we're going to go about doing that. And how can we nuts and bolts for leadership development and succession planning. And how do we increase community visibility? Nuts and bolts stuff. We can make that happen. We really enjoyed the very, very good sessions, inspired to action, and that's what we want to hear. Everyone, it's been a pleasure to be with you tonight. We have a few things we want to remind you of coming up. It's been a great team to be working with Lions USA as they do some fun and event, and they're thinking out of the box. They're providing a lot of support to the Global Action Team and to all of our districts. Here is Lions Roar and Pour on the second Thursdays of each month to have some fun, talk over some things in a fun environment. Very informal, yet formal time to connect. And the next thing that's coming up is the new Club Navigator. That's the third Monday of each month. It's for the new clubs in the last 5 years. They're members and guiding lions. And that way, those will be have an opportunity to share what's working and not working, and everybody can give them tips and tricks on tactics on how to stay connected and focused. But we learned something tonight to help those clubs in our districts that might be pretty new and might struggle, because sometimes that happens, and that'll happen that night too, to keep energy and encouragement going, staying connected and understanding that they have a support system. Now we have Lions USA is offering some regional institutes. We have one in Minnesota coming November 21st, in California, 16th to 18th, and one in Delaware, April 10th to 12th. Now, and you all have regional institutes going on, many of you across your multiple districts, but these are to fill in the holes for where places have been struggling to get those going. So this is really beneficial so that everyone has that opportunity for that succession plan. Finally, we want to focus our service. We learned today about, we should have all gotten an email, service coordinators, governors, about the opportunity to take a 90-second video of your service that you're doing during your mental health and well-being. Any of the weeks of service coming up, but plan for October 4th to 12th to take a video and submit that. Check it out. If you have any questions, contact your area leader and they're going to be able to help you get that information. Finally, tonight, I'd like to say it's been a great opportunity, and what an honor and privilege we have to work with all of you and all of the great people across Constitutional Area 1, everyone focused on growth, development, and service. All of the things that is part of our heart. Our next session, 90-day summit follow-up, will be Tuesday, October 7th at the same time. Everyone who is at the summit does get an invitation, and if you governors, you send out that invitation to others, but we need registrations because it helps get our breakout rooms ready. And we want to make sure we have a big enough Zoom account to handle all of it. So please register for the session. It makes it a lot easier on us and for all of you. But we're going to focus on club excellence and sustainability. Past District Governor Juanita Nichols, who is also Vice Area Leader for Area 1B, will be doing our that session. And our international president is going to be here that night to give us his comments. So make sure we register, watch for the email, contact any of your area leaders to get that information. They have been publishing it. I'm just honored to be here with all of you. Keep up the great work. Keep growing, because if we don't grow, no one else will. We have to have it going now. Keep the momentum. Thank you all for all of you to do.